Light and darkness cannot be at peace. Today's focus: Jesus did not come to bring peace to the earth. Find foods, 7 minutes a day, 1 Bible a year. Grace and peace, everyone. Today our progress brings us to Matthew chapters 10 through 12. Our key verse is, Jesus said, "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." When we read this passage, we may feel confused. This is also a question often asked. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. The fruit of the Spirit also includes peace. Why then does Jesus say he did not come to bring peace to the earth? Shouldn't he have come to bring peace on earth? Why does he say he brings a sword? What is the meaning behind this? We need to reflect on what it means to not bring peace to the earth. Our faith ultimately leads to peace and harmony. So if that is the case, what does it mean that Jesus brings a sword? The Gospel of Matthew is written for the Jews, the Messiah you've been waiting for. Its structure consists of 7 key points. Today we come to the third, the king's power, and it transitions to the king's parables. It mentions the 12 apostles and the weakness of John the Baptist. John the Baptist was originally called to prepare the way for Jesus. However, when he was in prison, he wondered why the Messiah did not come to rescue him. So he sent his disciples to ask Jesus. His question was very indirect, but what he really meant was, "Are you the Messiah? Let us continue." Jesus said, "Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." Does this surprise you? Please think about this. First, let me ask a question. Can light and darkness merge? Light and darkness cannot merge. For where there is light, there is no darkness. And where there is darkness, light cannot exist. Let us look at the passage. God's logic is not compromise. Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds their life will lose it, and whoever loses their life for my sake will find it. When we read this passage, we understand that the love Jesus requires of us is extremely strong. Of course, we should love our parents and our children. We should love our brothers and sisters. We should love many people. But Jesus tells us there must be a priority, that is to love God above all. Because God is love and He is the source of love. When we love God first, and then our parents or children and others, only then can we love them in the way that is truly right. Some people love their parents deeply. When their parents tell them to stop attending gatherings and abandon their faith, they do so. That is misguided obedience and is not right. Some people love their children intensely, caring for them, even excessively, to the point of neglecting gatherings and ministry. This, too, is wrong. We must put Jesus first in our lives. Then it speaks of taking up the cross and following the Lord. If one does not take up the cross, they are not worthy of Jesus. The cross puts a person to death, but we give thanks that the cross also gives life. It is a process of death and resurrection. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it. Other Gospels say, "Whoever loses their life for me and for the gospel will save it." This means that we place Jesus and His gospel first. Even if it costs our life, we do not change. Such a person will gain life. But if you live for yourself, you will instead lose your life. Pay attention to the logic here. If our faith is not strong enough, we cannot understand this, because He is love. So we place Him as our highest priority. This is what is right. Therefore, we cannot compromise with the world. Whether parents, children, in-laws, or siblings, light and darkness truly cannot compromise. Many brothers and sisters have experienced this issue, especially when a family member passes away. There are many folk religious practices, various rituals and ceremonies. Should you worship idols? If you do not, others will gossip about you and become hostile toward you. Yet, we must hold fast to our faith. Worship the Lord, our one and only God. This is also refusing to compromise. So then, how will the Prince of Peace accomplish his peace? Let us look at Ephesians chapter 2. And in one body to reconcile both of them to God through the cross, by which he put to death their hostility. This tells us that reconciliation is indeed the goal. We desire peace and harmony, but this peace and reconciliation comes after hostility is destroyed on the cross. When all are reconciled to God, only then can we be truly reconciled with one another. Because this hostility comes from the broken relationship between humans and God. When people sin, they disobey God. Then come all kinds of evil thoughts, murder, offending God, idolatry, and more. This makes people enemies of God. With this hostility present, God sent his one and only Son into the world to die for us, to destroy this hostility so that we may be reconciled to God. When we are reconciled to God, all who are reconciled to God can be reconciled with one another in the Lord. Therefore, this calls for a decision, not a compromise. Reconciliation is God's work. Only the cross can bring true reconciliation. More precisely, reconciliation is co-working with God. True reconciliation can only be found in the cross. Reading Guide to Matthew. The Gospel of Matthew is written for the Jews. The Messiah you've been waiting for set in the Jesus age. Chapter 10. The mission of the 12 apostles. We are to be as shrewd as snakes and as innocent as doves. Jesus appointed the 12 apostles and gave them a mission. When we go out to preach the gospel, we must be shrewd as snakes, using various flexible methods to share the gospel of the Lord. But our character and our life should be innocent like doves. Chapter 11, John the Baptist's disciples come to Jesus. This refers to the weakness of John the Baptist mentioned earlier. Jesus did not come to bring peace to the earth. Chapter 12, healing on the Sabbath. Today's focus, Jesus did not come to bring peace to the earth. Light and darkness cannot compromise. If you love the Father, you cannot love the world. We must become one in Christ. The two groups made one. Blessed is the one whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. Fine food, 7 minutes. See you tomorrow.